Yes, I'm here again. This one we are discussing a different thing, a different angle. Have you ever noticed, or did you know, that the African people, mostly the men, do not have long hair? African people, the men, do not have long hair. Why do they not have long hair? What is the cause? Yes, in Africa, you discover that when the sun rises, we have the highest sunrise, the highest sunshine in Africa. And that sunrise or that sunshine in Africa causes them a lot of heat. And as a result of that heat, the men do not always long hair. Because when you keep long hair, when you have a long hair, or when you keep hair, the heat in your body will be much while you go outside work. Because the men always go out for work. The men always go out for work, while the women are always indoor. Because African people cherish their wives. They love their wives so much, such that they do not always love their wives to go out for work. So now, only the women, only their wives, only the ladies, women that have long hair because they don't always pay it, or a husband don't always allow them to go out to work. So as a result, the ladies, they always keep long hair, while the men, they do not keep long hair. The men always barb their hair. They always barb their hair. And they do not always barb punk or barb any hairstyle. They always barb skin for generation after generation. They always go with skin hair. So that as they go out to work, the sun will not affect them. The sun will never affect them because they always go out to work. They work for a long time. They work for a long distance. They work for long hours because they have the power to work. But now, come to think of it, if you go to Africa, you see so many men now with long hair because they copied the European. That was not the culture of the African people. That is the culture of the African people because the Africans are very hard. The Africans are very hard. They do not keep a long hair. They do not keep a long hair. But when you keep a long hair while walking in the sun will quickly or easily affect you. So they do not keep long hair. It's only the European because over there, there are a lot of snow and that side is cool. So as a result, they keep their hair to protect their head from the cold so that cold will not be able to enter the bride. Am I making sense? Are you with me? When someone is being born in Africa, after 4 days, the child will be taken to purification. The child will be taken for purification. The child will be taken for purification after 4 days or during the 4 days of being born. The child will be taken for purification. We have what we call the grades. We have the low market day and we have the lower market day. This great market day has to do with 4 days. Why the great market day has to do with 8 days? I will explain. Come closer. We have what we call in Africa, we have what we call the two market day. The two type of market day. And this two type of market day, one, it has to do with the smaller market day. And this small market day has to do with every 4 days. It's a great market, it's a small market day. Then we also have what we call the great market day, that's the big market day. And this big market day has to do with every 8 days. Every 8 days. Then now, let me explain how it goes. After every 4 days is a market day. 1 to 4 is a market day. Then 4 to 8 is another market day. It's the same market day. But how do we count it? Count it from 1 to 4 is a market day. Then 4 to 8 is another market day. But they do not count it from 1 to 8 because during that time they were also counting. They only count the first market day and the second market day. They count the first market day and they count the second market day. But the real time that the African people come to know if the year is done and use the sun. Up to date in my place. Up to date. The elders saw the movement of the sun and they go with the movement of the stars and the moon. Up to date as I'm speaking with you. Up to this hour that I'm telling you, that I'm discussing with you. The elders study the movement of the sun and the rotation of the moon and the stars. You know the sun have two types of movement. Come closer so that you can learn and know. The sun have two types of movement. When you face the sunrise, when you face the south, bring the sunrise, the south is the sunrise. Sometimes the sun go along the left axis of the sunrise of the south. When the sun go the left axis of the south is a movement of the sun. Then there's another movement of the sun. When you face the sunrise, the sun go along the left axis, the right axis of the sun. Let me explain it. When you face the sunrise, when you face the south, it's from the south that the sun rises. When you face the sunrise, you discover that there are two types of movement of the sun. When sometimes the sun moves along the left axis of the sunrise, of the south, and sometimes the sun moves the right axis of the south. For instance, when you face the sunrise, when you face the south, sometimes the sun moves by the right, and sometimes it moves by the left. All these were being calculated, were being studied by the African people, generation after generation before now. Then they also study what they call the movement of the moon, how the moon move. They study how the moon move. It's there. They use the moon to come to know when the year is getting to an end. There was no calendar. There was no calendar during that generation, during that time. But it uses the movement